Let me cite an instance for you. Something happened recently in the National Assembly wherein they voted certain amounts of money to buy vehicles, billions of naira, and you are telling people to tighten their belts, and you are living in luxury and flaunting it before the people.
So I will put this in perspective for you. We're journalists, okay, and we have to let the people know what it is. The executive, led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, told the people to tighten their belts. All right? The legislature is another body that the people voted for separately. They're not on the same mandate. They're not on the same ticket. The people. In fact, they are the representatives of the people much more
than the president.
Who is the representative of everybody, who is the man on whose head we have put the load of Nigeria, who is having sleepless nights to say, what do I do? I'm confused. I turn this way, there's this impediment. I turn this way, there's an obstacle. So these people are there to represent you. 356 or 60 of them?
360 at the
lower chamber. Representative of the people, you call them. They are there for you. You voted them into office. They want a vehicle. Nigerians did not go on the streets to protest and say, for us, across board, 774 local governments. Let me tell you, what NSAS did was people came out and voiced in accord. The monies that you are collecting is humongous, is too much. Senate President, break it down for us. What is the allowance that is being given to our representative? We want to know. Another person says, you know what? We will engage them and engage them publicly. And we're not saying protest. I'm saying come out, hold town hall meetings across board, across all the 774 local governments where they come from. One divided into two, just divided into two. One representing two. In some places they have one, in some places they even have two. So put them there, set them down, and have conversations. You see this vehicle you want to buy, we want it to be Nigerian made. They actually need those vehicles because they need to they need to move around. But we're saying the amount of money you're going to spend on this vehicle, you can have it. You can even divide it into 4 and still buy a durable vehicle, a utility vehicle that will serve you for the number of years that you're going to be here. If you can do this for us, we don't need you to buy this much money. You see the rest of it. Have you heard the legislature? And I'm talking about the legislature across board. Because the executive...
Both federal and states.
Both federal and state. Look at if they don't give them their money, do you think they will sit? They will hold the federal government to ransom. It happens in America. They demand for something, the president does not give them, they sit on his budget and they sit on the approval. And you say, America is about to go shut down. The American government can shut down in the next 24 hours if the Senate does not approve. That's how legislature works. They are actually the ones that hold the government by the jugular. They hold them by the balls. And that's the way it works. That is their job, to hold them to account. That is also our job, to hold them to account. When they wanted to buy the vehicles, if you and I organized ourselves and we went for our representative, they come home every weekend, mind you, and we spoke to them and we say, sir, we want a town hall meeting. Youth groups, mothers, fathers, come together in your community, have an engagement, and they all go back to the chamber and say, my representatives called me, and they all come together and say, everybody called me, and they all said they do not want this. How do we make it work? They will adjust.
I know some of them do come home for a weekend, but
almost all of them do.
When some are around, you can hardly have access to them.
See, it all goes back to the same thing. Send a letter to them, put it in the public space. If we
go to the social media page,
put it on the social media page, paste it, tag them, send a physical letter to them, the acknowledgement copy stamped by their secretary, put it out there and say, see, the governors suffer a lot in the hands of citizens, but the legislature get away with it.
They do.
We will abuse Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu for money till night.
Is it that we do not really know those that we should hold?
Because we are really not informed. Because information is power.
So aside from the media, who else should inform the people?
That's the... see, government parastatals. You see, when I started, I said, when you have government parastatals doing the job that they're supposed to be doing. Now, everybody is talking on social media. And you just said to me, that, what about people who are not on social media? Do you think Nigerians are really on social media? Do you know that you do not go to Punch to read when you get on social media? You just, for example, Instagram, you just flip through and you look at all of the trending, which is going to pop up, you know. Those are the things that you look at. In most cases, you don't go after the news. The news does not come after you. It waits for you to go after it. But you don't go after the news. You just go after what is trending. And because it is trending, so people munch it and put it on WhatsApp, and then it goes viral and all of that. Now, that information may not even be true. It may be fake. It may be a distorted information. It may be a distorted truth. We will rile up ourselves and get very angry. But the real information was not gotten. Because we don't even, so even for those of us who are on social media, we don't seek knowledge, we don't seek information. We just want a reason to complain. I read somebody's post yesterday, and she said, this place is too quiet to what is happening. And so she threw a jab at somebody else who is sitting down in a house, enjoying her life. Drag that on social media so that our minions can come after the person. But the first statement told me the woman was bored. Because she said, this place is too quiet. That's exactly why you see that they are dragging government. You're dragging the government. You say, how come they are raping children? But will Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu go to every house and be knocking and say, please, don't rape? Meanwhile, on your street, in your house, in your compound, this person has been abusing the wife. In fact, you've had this suspicion for a very long time.
And you're not saying anything about it.
And you're not saying anything about it.
How will the governor know?
Meanwhile, the governor does not even need to know. There is an agency called Lagos State Domestic Violence Agency. DSVA is there for you. They even have offices in every local government. Police station, zonal, divisional headquarters. They have the human rights desk. You won't go there. You go to the DPO who has no clue as to how to deal with criminal matters like that. You go to him and then you say the policeman that attended to me did not, because you're also not informed. You reported to the wrong person. So until we get to a point where those who are in the agencies do their jobs, go on radio, have conversations with people, assume that your post on social media, if you have 10,000 likes on your post on social media, then it is being engaged.
So the people must learn to engage more.
We must demand more. It's not just about engaging.
If we fold our arms and leave them, then they will continue to do whatever they like.
We fold our arms, and so one person wakes up one morning and complains about this first subsidy. Petrol is about to become 750 naira. Oh, this one. All of us, we just face that direction and we start complaining about fuel subsidy. While we're complaining about fuel subsidy, the price of rice will go from 50,000 to 65,000. By the time somebody now wakes up tomorrow and says rice is 65,000 naira, the person will say this government is not good. Rice is not 65,000. We all go in that direction. Nobody will come out and say Nigerian rice is still selling for 40,000 naira. Please go and buy it.
Information.
No, we know. We do selective abuse. We know. But we have developed a taste for the way we say greener pasture. We say when you go to the Sena climb, Nigeria is not saying no. They say Sena climb. When we go to the Sena climb, greener pasture, this will happen. This is better. Somebody who has never gone to Cotonou is talking about Sena climb and greener pasture and things that don't happen there. Call those who happen there, who happen to be living there, and ask them critical questions. Ask them those important questions about how things go, how things work, what are the rules of engagement in societies like that. You don't want rules here. You don't want to obey law. You don't want to pay tax. You don't want to do anything. Yet you want good roads. You want good hospitals. Yet you want this. We have to do an holistic, this is what I call like an overview of what our lives is, was, and what it should be. And come together with our leaders and say, we have also decided as citizens to become better people. And because we have decided to become better people, we are now ready to engage you. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu told his ministers, you remember?
Yeah.
You don't perform, I remove you. That is engagement. Mm-hmm. You two will now make him know that his minister is not performing by complaining well about the said minister. Don't complain and just say, price of fuel is now expensive. Remove the person that is there in your corner, or even when you're complaining in your corner, you are complaining about something that you're not well informed about. Again, price of rice is not expensive. Remove the Minister of Agriculture. Go and buy Nigerian rice.
Okay, how do we strike a balance between the government and the governed for the progress of our society?
You see, our governed and the government, they come from the same source, the people. These 0.5% people who are ruling over us are from the people. They come from
that ruling sounds military.
Okay, leading
Government.
us, governing us. These sets of people came from within us. So for
So they are
me,
part of the system.
Ile Latin Keshoro, they start from your corner, start from your house. You want better deliverables from the government? Apart from engaging them, choose better leaders. Apart from engaging them, stop this propaganda that we have so much sucked ourselves into, and let's deal with the real issue. We want a better Nigeria for everybody. I tell people now that everything that is happening now, I pray that by the time my son becomes a university student to a graduate, somebody calculated it for me quickly and said, ha, to me say, how can you do that kind of calculation? Oh, I said, Kope. It was just not long ago that 1999 came. And now we're counting 23 years of democracy. It's because somebody just woke up one day and say, enough is enough.
Enough of military rule.
Enough of military rule. And we've had uninterrupted democracy. And we're enjoying the best of the moment right now. How can we do better? Now we have another dispensation here. And we're saying we can't just allow it to just go as usual, let everything. Don't intentionally damage the system because you want to prove President Bola Ahmed Tinubu wrong. You are not damaging his life. The man has achieved. He has done well for himself, for his family. He is okay. If he retires, he's fine. And his family will be fine. His generation to the third and fourth will be fine. So if you damage what he is doing and you place a hurdle in every step, you are doing it for yourself. And this goes to speak to the powers that be that are not in government. Because I sincerely do believe that there are some powers that
Behind.
be that are not in, they're not in government, but they have so much power than the people in government that their decisions are so selfish, so detrimental to the growth of this country. These people are not in power. But the kind of things that they do behind the doors and in their closets is terrible. We talk about gold. Why do we keep talking about oil? How much gold do we have in this country? Who is reaping the benefit of that gold? How come a state like Adamawa that has so much gold is that poor? A state like Adamawa does not have good roads despite the gold. Where is it going? Let's look at Zamfara. No, I'm even talking about Zamfara now, not even Adamawa now. Let's go to states where they have lots of deposits of natural resources. Who is getting the benefit? Because we are still talking about oil. If we're not talking agric, we're talking oil. What's happening to all of the other natural resources that we have? Somebody is now working on how to, make use of our gas to get more revenue into the country. So we are also supplying. That's a beautiful project. But we have other resources. Where did our cocoa disappear to? We had cocoa at a particular time. That was the business of my generation, my family, my great-grandparents, grandparents, maybe 3 generations before me. That was their business. Nobody in my generation, nobody even in the generation above me is doing anything cocoa. As a matter of fact, I keep asking my uncles, where did all the cocoa farm disappear to? Because now the business is not there.
But just like the people have been distracted from cocoa business, the government is also distracted as well. All eyes on oil.
That's the thing. So the government needs to go into those areas. Gold, you have bitumen. If we are no longer doing bitumen roads, we can do bitumen roads on our inner roads and do concrete.
On the major highways.
On the major highways. We can sell our bitumen to the rest of the... How can they in Benin Republic have better roads than we do? Because why are we making... So somebody constructed a road for you. And I think the government needs to do better here. And it must be said. Somebody constructed a road. In 3 years, the road is no longer in good condition. I'm not talking about the work of the Public Works Department. I'm not talking about what they are patching. I know they are patching. I know that they are really patching. They are not fixing the road. But I'm talking about a real construction work was done. Like what David Umahi, the Minister for Works, was talking about. How can you fix a road in your community for your people as the contractor and there is no road at the end of 9 months? And the people did not go after that contractor, whose name was boldly written on the signpost.
That is people engaging the government now.
See the contractor, they know the person. They know that it is Chief Lagbaja that fixed that road. It was his company that did it. He did rubbish.
And yet they kept quiet.
They kept quiet. They will go to his house, knock his door during Christmas, collect money, we share chicken. They will collect. They collect rice. And they're suffering. And the road is bad.
The same thing we do with our political class as well.
And so they now go to the government and they say, see the road you did. The man that did the road is in your community. The man that fixed the road, did you report him to the government and say, the man that you gave this road is not doing anything. Come and see for yourself. Did you do a video and tag the governor of your state and say, this is what this your contractor that is from my community, he lives behind my father's house.
So we
this
should
is what he's doing.
Looking beyond stomach infrastructure now.
Hunger does not kill.
Because that is the impact that many of us believe in.
See, hunger
maybe because of
does
the
not
poverty
kill.
In the land.
We think that hunger kills. It is actually ignorance and foolishness that kills. A poor man finds a way to survive. He goes to carry bricks from morning till night, but before he goes to carry the bricks, he makes sure he concretizes his stomach. He takes bread and beans, the heaviest. He's so full. He goes to do that hard labor. He comes back. He sits down to eat correct akpu and maybe ogbono soup or okra and ewedu soup. He is full. So you see the man, you say he's strong. The man is okay because the man understands his condition and he is managing it within his means. We don't do that with our problems. We look at things and we say, as long as it benefits me, I'm fine.
Selfishness.
So we're selfish. And we're being foolish. Because those things that you ignore today, even if it skips your generation, it won't skip your children's generation. They will suffer it. So you must, it is a people's thing, everybody's thing. And the leaders are people too. Do your part, I do my part.
It's give and take.
Give and take. Tell the governor, you're doing this good. Fantastic, sir. You did well. That one that you wanted to do, sir, don't do it too. If you do it, we will drag you. If you do it, we will tell you. We will complain.
And the governor will sit up.
And the governor was, I did a documentary a couple of months ago. And it was born out of people just complaining on social media and saying, where will they go? You chase the people that are selling on the... I've been doing that report for 3 years. I've gone there, I've interviewed the people, and each time I go there, they say, and I keep asking them, but why are you not going here? Why are you not going here? Okay, you want to sell here. Why not go sell there? They say, they'll be collecting money from me. I now went to one part of Pennsylvania, I think it was last year, and one of the women there told me that, you see some of those agberos, they bring ticket from the local government. I said, which local government? She said, really, Agege local government. Comes. I said, I can assure you that that money is not getting to the local government too. Which ticket? Do they give you the ticket when they sell it? She said, no.
Just collect
but
money.
they show them, you understand? And they say, we have ticked your name. I say, inside the same railway that they are not supposed to be. Now, the governor now went there that day and said, you guys should leave this place. You guys need to... Do you know what happened? Do you know how many people went on social media to abuse Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu? Do you know how many people? Where do you want them to go? They are widows. They are there. They are this. What happened next? I went there and I did a report. Do you know that there is a market in front of that particular railway station at Agege? It's called Isokoko Market. The people in the market that have their own shops, in some of the complexes, some that were demolished by government, they've gotten other shops. Now, these people bring pieces of their wares to the railway to sell. The person that is selling snail in front actually has a shop where she's storing it inside the market, but she brings it out to come sell. And some people don't have at all. Do you know that there is an Agege market that was named after, I think, the Speaker of the House of Assembly's wife or mother. It's called something Obasa Market.
Yeah.
There is an Agege Market. It is actually beside the same terminal of now the Lagos State Terminal, not the federal government terminal. You know there's a federal government terminal opposite Isokoko. There is a Lagos State Terminal that is now beside the Agege Market. And beside that terminal is a market, properly organized market with stalls all over. The traders leave the market and their shops. They come to the front of the market to sell on the road. The members of the Kick Against this come and pack their wares. They complain. Go back into the market. So when I went there to do this documentary, I asked the question, where are you guys now? Some of the women who just came in from the railway are sharing stalls in the market.
Okay, so some people are already sharing your thoughts on the program this morning. This one has no name. Wow, I'm moved by the guest. She's speaking my mind. I will wake up to get Nigeria fixed. This one is from Lulu in Ikorodu. Government is not doing enough. That's why there is no positive impact. We'll come back to that. Please, I find it difficult to flow with those that believe that Nigeria is insane. We have never planted cocoa on Nigerian soil and real granules. I disagree. I believe that when Nigerians become sane by doing the right thing, beginning from you and I, then we shall move forward. Bashe, you forgot to put your location. What do you say to all of this message?
Okay, so let me start with the person who said we've never planted cocoa. I buried my father in Oda, Akure, Ondo State. Right in front of my father's graveside is a shop that sells cocoa, and it is owned by my cousin. He has a cocoa farm. All of my family members from my mother's side are cocoa farmers. They still have.
It's not correct.
The information is not correct. My mother has a cocoa farm in Ondo State. My father's family have abandoned theirs. The business of the Ondo people, fishing for the waterside people, we have cocoa. In fact, we have the bitumen that you're even talking about. We have the farming business, palm oil. People are planting palm trees in their compounds.
So the information is not correct.
It's absolutely
what about
wrong.
This message from Lulu in Ikorodu, which says that government is not doing enough. That's why there is no positive impact.
See, Nigeria has a myriad of problems. Our problems are so multidimensional that even the saints amongst men will be confused as to how to fix our problems. But before we say that government is not doing enough, I think rather than pointing an accusing finger, point at those places where they need to do more. That is your responsibility. I agree that they can do better.
Because government cannot see everything.
Exactly. I agree that there are some policies that are very ill-timed. I agree there are some policies that may not even work, that are just trials. They are doing the best they can within the information that is available. So give them extra information by saying, can you please face this direction? For example, everybody's investing in rice. That's because almost every house in Nigeria eats rice every day. But our people are beginning to eat kotonu gari.
That's sad.
And I'm finding it difficult to understand if gari has suddenly gotten, because somebody will tell me tomorrow that we are no longer planting cassava. And watch out for that. In the next couple of years, if we continue to eat kotonu gari, kotonu tomato, somebody will say that we don't have tomato again in Nigeria. Our problem is not that we don't have those things. Our problem is that we do not know how to manage what we have. Our resources waste. You have tomatoes growing in the north, beautiful bold tomatoes. But how do we transport them? We transport them by pounding, packing them on top of each other. By the time they get down to Lagos, half of the basket is already bad.
So that's where government should come in and provide infrastructure.
You get it. Yesterday, it was a beautiful sight for me when I was passing through Agege, and I saw a train with about 50 containers moving down towards Ibadan. It was a train, and we started counting the containers on it. This is saying that you can now transport your containers rather than using the road with that. What if we're now transporting our tomatoes with the train, with cargo trains, rather than using the trucks?
Okay. All right, this one is coming from Miracle in Ojodu, very close to us here. Ma'am Tominsin, you're speaking nothing but the truth. Ride on, please. I hope our dear country becomes better soon. So how do we make it better?
How do we make it better? Let's begin with government. Government responsibility is to serve. Let us begin to intentionally engage the people before decisions are taken. If you want to give me rice, you may assume that is my best food. But my best food may be bread. In fact, my best food may be pap and moi moi.
Well, you wouldn't find out if you do not engage me.
But if you don't engage me, you won't find out. Yes, Nigerians are fond of ranting and just creating a mountain out of a molehill, but that doesn't stop government from engaging. So I think there needs to be, the government needs to have platforms, and I'm talking for the executive across board, the federal, the state governments. The local governments are a totally different ballgame. I don't want to touch them today.
But they are closer to the people than the governments.
Please, how many local government chairmen are cleaning the drainages in their environment? How many local government chairmen are building drainages? I said something to someone yesterday. I said, if every local government chairman in Lagos does half of what he's meant to do, the humongous project of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu will shine through. He is doing a lot in the midst of very little. So if you do yours, for example, you do local government. At your level. All the drainages are well kept. The environment is clean. You have your own department who fixes the potholes on the road. Have you seen Ogba bus stop recently? Is that not in my local government? And then I went to Agege yesterday and I saw all the drainages, torn drainages, water flowing on the road. These are some of the things that needs to be fixed by the local government chairman. So please do ask the people. Don't sit pretty in your offices as a local government chairman, assuming that you know what they need.
We must engage.
And then you're just building houses. Don't build. Do the basic things that can make their lives better today.
Okay.
Engage the people.
That's a very good point to stop with this morning. Engaging government for positive impact. Tomisin Adebukola taking us through our own perspective. What did you say?
My son name is Badewale. Continue.
Okay.
Don't mind me. But that's my professional name.
Taking us through our own perspective of how we can make things